Hey there, so today we have another review and people are probably excited about this one. This is Founders CBS Canadian Breakfast Stout. Definitely one of the most hyped beers that Founders makes next to KBS, and definitely much more hyped than that beer because KBS is a once a year release, whereas this has barely been released. I believe there are only 2 or 3 bottlings of this beer. They did keg it, so I have had it a couple years ago. Absolutely fantastic. But this is what I understand to be pretty much KBS, but aged in maple bourbon barrels. So I imagine they're from Bliss, which is a large producer of barrel-aged maple syrup. And so, yes, really excited. 11.7%. Huge shout out to my friend for picking this one up. Beer pours in a dark brown to black color, beautiful black color with a, wow, nice kind of dark mocha head. Let's get the aroma on this one. On the nose, it smells like KBS. You get that rich, just chocolate note that you get from KBS. It's just like cocoa nib, milk chocolate. Also that like a little bit of like bourbon-y kind of quality in there. Actually, now that I think of it, the predominant note is this beautiful combination that KBS has of roasty, medium plus roasty, sweet coffee kind of quality with that chocolate flavor. And then underlying there, I do smell that kind of buttery maple syrup. Some roast in there. Smells awesome. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. Initial impression, 11.7%. It's actually not that big of a beer on the palate. Reminds me of KBS in that sense. It does have the flavors of KBS. Again, that chocolate, that mocha thing going on. Lots of roast, sweet roast, a little bit of espresso kind of thing going on. But really what really makes this beer alive is that quality of just lingering maple syrup that sort of just floats around the palate. It's not obvious at first, but then you get smacked with sweetness, and then you just start thinking about like the woods and maple syrup and like a cabin where you get syrup poured on your pancakes. It's not too aggressively syrupy and sweet, which is nice. It just helps complement and synergize with the flavors of the chocolate and coffee and roast. The nuance in the bourbon barrel is in there a little bit. A little tick of a little heat and bourbon quality dancing in there. Maybe a little bit of dryness from the oak, but really the sweetness of the syrup tends to overplay that or dominate a little bit. Wow, really well integrated. Really, it just has this forward, but still well integrated maple syrup flavor along with those familiar, beautiful KBS flavors of bourbon, chocolate, coffee, roast, sweetness, caramel, a little bit of vanilla. It's almost like a chocolate cake with some syrup drizzled on it. And then as you wait more, it really lingers a little bit more with that aftertaste of maple syrup. So despite it not being cloying, because I think really what happens is that the chocolate and the coffee help to bitter out the beer, there is a good amount of sweetness to this beer. You wouldn't want to drink a large volume of it because I think it would get a little cloying actually, because you'd actually just taste the syrup on the back end. So you're sort of tricked into the idea that this is not a sweet beer, but it is actually a sweet beer because as you wait, there's that sweetness. And the coffee roast helps balance it just a bit, but then as you wait more, there's more of that kind of sugary kind of quality just sitting on your palate and your tongue. Absolutely fantastic, love it. This for me bumps up, bumps up KBS to another level. Reminds me actually a little bit of even more Maple Jesus, whatever you call it, Evil Twin. They put out a version of Even More Jesus, aged in Bliss maple bourbon barrels, and so it has that kind of flavor that this beer has. I guess it's just magic. You just put a big imperial stout, despite the fact you're adding coffee or chocolate, whatever you do. The barrels are delicious. You're going to taste that maple syrup. This one for me, definitely less sweet, less decadent, but it does have a nice balance to it too. Absolutely fantastic. It's fun. I like the novelty of maple. I think it's just as good as the beer as the Evil Twin one. Let's go with the 98 on this one. Absolutely fantastic. This is Founder CBS. Until next time, cheers. Later.